And it's been a massive advantage to our business. Let me tell you this. A couple of priorities as we used a commercial broker to search all the properties available in Indianapolis were these. I desperately wanted a place to be able to pull all of our assets indoors and keep them housed in a warehouse that's protected from theft, protected from weather, protected from corrosion, protected from all of the elements and the things that happen to assets that sit outdoors. See, our previous shop, it's in a developing area, a developing zip code. At one point, that zip code, about 10 years ago, was the murder capital of the Midwest. No joke. We paid $28 a square foot for a 5,000 square foot facility that's with our improvements, not business specific improvements, but just new roof, new furnace, things of that nature. So 28 bucks a square foot. Here, we're at $54 a square foot. That's a screaming deal. This is the Indianapolis, this is the Midwest, but nonetheless, this is a great deal. New build like this, over $100 a square foot, no question. And so we did spend just over $1 million on this property, but a new build, you'd be well over $2 million for the building of the same size. And that is discounting the house and the land. We're on almost 2 acres here with a property to cash flow our debt service. That's a massive advantage. This facility is going to provide a couple of distinct things. Check out these overhead doors. We're actually going to have trucks pulling in and through the facility. So when our teams come to load up, unload, they're pulling into a climatized environment. They're pulling into a controlled environment. They're pulling up to the shelves staged and stocked with the materials they need to load and unload. And then the warehouse team takes it from there. We're being very, very efficient. With this facility, it'll be incredible the advantages that we're going to give to our electrical team. Instead of parking their trucks in the parking lot and running in back and forth, the rain, the sleet, the snow, the ice, we are offering them quality of life. This is fantastic. I'm thrilled to pieces about this. I wish that this is something that we could have done sooner, but we were already stretching. Every phase of business growth is that risk. You feel it. You lose sleep over it, right? You're stretching and reaching for something better, and we're moving. We moved from the 1,300 square feet to 5,000 square feet to 22,000 square feet, and every time it's a financial risk, it's an emotional risk. It is, we have to think about those things. And so if I could have done it sooner, absolutely would have. Couldn't, didn't. At the last facility, we've struggled with catalytic converters being stripped from under our trucks. It's like $100 worth of scrap at best, and it's for some of the big trucks, that's a $2,000 repair and up, just to replace the catalytic converter. So we put cat straps in, but the thieves get past those as well. So securing our resources and assets in order to ensure our operational stability and cash flow and projections, that's significant. That gives me peace of mind. We don't show up in the morning to a broken out window in a van and a steering wheel that's been jacked because there's been an attempt to heist it. Here we're inside our main loading bay. And what we've done is we've eliminated the entire second story right here. There was a second floor built in front of that garage door. That's actually a dummy garage door. You can see it's elevated 3 feet above slab, but that's outside grade at the back of the building. So this headspace, this clearance is going to allow for vertical storage, and that's going to be advantageous for some of our larger product. We can triple stack solar panels, pallets of solar panels. We can house all of our conduit and extension ladders in a vertical orientation, so they're a quick grab by hand as opposed to being stored and needing to be removed by a forklift. So that vertical storage allows for large scale vertical, and every vehicle we own and every vehicle we work on is capable of being housed in this space. So that if there's a weather alert, for instance, when we're working on a $500,000 luxury RV, adding a $50,000 solar plus battery system, we can pull that RV into indoor storage and protect our customer's asset. So all around, this is huge, absolutely massive for us. This space right here, just as a point of interest, is actually heated by a radiant heat system. So we are heating the objects, not the air. This is going to be a very efficient way of maintaining the climate control for the warehouse team and operations in the warehouse. So a radiant heat system is a gas-fired stainless steel tube. At peak operation, that black tube with the reflector on top of it will glow bright red, and this place, this whole warehouse, will be nice and toasty. The reason that's more efficient and what you want for your warehouse is because every time these big open overhead doors raise, we're letting all the outside cold temperature in, and it's very laborious for a heating system that heats the air to then fill this back up. So if you're working in this space and there's massive air loss, guess what? It still feels warm because that radiant system is actually heating you, and it's not heating the air. It's a different kind of heat. It's perfect for mechanic shops, for trade shops of every kind, because again, it heats the objects. So personnel in this space, even if the temperature is cold, they're gonna feel warm. It's gonna be comfortable. So a couple of the things that we also prioritized in pursuing a new facility was low maintenance, right? Again, labor is the biggest cost to everything. And so it affects, that labor cost affects, and this mentality affects how we buy our trucks. 2 years ago, we made a decision to buy all our trucks new and to run them for 100,000 miles and then to offload them at that time, because we've been buying the Nissan NVs. Those things have a 100,000 mile warranty. So what we're doing is we are operating that vehicle during its peak performance period. And then we're offloading because the cost of, we recognize this across our fleet, and it applies to this building too. It's the same concept. It's the same concept for your tools as well, and your equipment, everything that's operational. The cost is in the labor. It is cheaper. It's more cost effective to finance a low maintenance building. It is more cost effective to finance a vehicle than it is to pay the service on a vehicle for which you are debt free, but might have 200,000 miles and need some kind of repair on the brakes and the alternator and the belts and it can be almost monthly basis at that point. See, our fleet used to be ancient. We were running those trucks into the ground. We had a truck with 345,000 miles on it, a service van. We had, the next runner-up was like 275,000, 235,000, 215,000. These trucks were old. And we realized when we started running the data on them and looking at the spreadsheet, they're costing us more than a brand new van. And because of the unreliability, they're costing us in labor. That's where the hidden cost is. The electrician's pulling their tools out and putting it in another van for the day as that one goes away for service and repair. That's where the cost is. Our operation throws off $25,000 a day in cash. I don't want to slow that down one tick. I want those guys to be well cared for. I want them pulling it inside into a climate-controlled environment where the rain and the ice and the snow, it doesn't cause any delay, right? I have to respect the hidden cost of labor. So everything that we're doing here, how we handle the scrap, how we map out the workflow of the warehouse, everything recognizes one thing, and that is the cost of labor. Something really interesting in this space right here, we call this space the crib. You know what the crib is? I love this. This is something that we didn't come privy to, but probably 18 months ago, and it's been a massive advantage to our business. Let me tell you this, here's a little secret. We don't stock the crib. We don't maintain the crib. We don't inventory the crib. Sounds like craziness. We're gonna have about $150,000 of stock value in this crib. We don't do it. How does that work? Okay, so we have a strategic vendor relationship with an electrical distributor, and they have what's called a crib program. So we are paying for the inventory that's in the crib. And behind me here, you see our off-season landscape crew. That's a great source of labor. If you're looking to expedite a project, if you're looking for labor that knows how to work together with a clear leadership structure to bring in some off-season, right, for Indiana and Midwest as a whole, that is at the end of leaf season all the way through mulch season. You've got about a 3-4 month gap. If there's not snow and ice on the ground that these guys are taking care of, fantastic resource. We've used this many times before. So they're setting up the shelf for the crib. And the crib, again, is stocked and restocked by our electrical distribution partner. On one hand, we have their best pricing because they own the relationship with us in a big way. On the other hand, we have free labor. Because they own the relationship, they're committed to the relationship, and they demonstrate their commitment by coming into the crib 3 times a week and checking stock on all items and replenishing to our automatic stock levels. We select the levels, we determine the products, but they manage the crib. If you want to know more about the crib program and our other market secrets that give us a distinct advantage, check out the calendar link in the description below. You can book your business coaching session. We're doing a complete LED lighting retrofit of the interior and exterior of this building. All these fluorescent bulbs will need to go to a city program called a tox drop so that they're properly disposed of. We're going to have hundreds of these things before we're done. And for quality of life for our team, our office team, one thing we're doing is converting this space into the ping pong room. This will literally be like the center of calisthenics for Jefferson Electric administrative team members right here. I can't wait. Up here on the second floor in the northwest corner, we've got 2,500 square feet of I don't know what. This is just elbow room, room to grow. That gives me excitement. That gives me space for imagination at night. That furnace right there, as well as a couple others, original to the building. So we've got some upgrades to do, but even total cost into this space, man, we are dollars ahead. At this rate, we have about 3 weeks of construction left before we actually relocate our business operations. We're going to try to do that in the most efficient and seamless fashion so that we minimize disruption, because a lot of those hidden costs of lost revenues will be hidden and tucked under the chaos of relocating 50 personnel to a new facility. So we're going to be incredibly mindful. I invite you to join us for the next video as we stage some of that and manage this process.